layering is when layers of the hierarchy are kind of stripped out, so we lose like maybe some middle managers, etc. This then will result in the people that are left behind possibly to change their job description, change their role profile, I suppose, and maybe have to take on additional tasks to cover for the people that are left behind. And then there are also motivation problems for managers that are left behind as well, because they are trying to motivate the remaining subordinates who might be demoralised because of the delayering process. I don't know what else.
Okay, anybody else want to comment on that?
Yeah, I can just add also there's potential for job loading there as well, which could increase stress, because as they remove the layers, it means that employees can experience more tasks added to their already heavy schedule, so that could increase their stressors. And also, if training isn't followed up either, if they're given additional responsibility without any training, then that's going to increase their stressors.
Okay, I think that's a good point, and we can use that to link this concept to the content and process motivation theories. So how are we going to motivate these specific employees? So can someone first explain why content and process, what does that mean? Without looking at text.
But, well, my understanding is content specifies what actually causes motivation, and the process is how you actually go about motivating an individual. Does everyone else think that right or
wrong? I would agree with that, yeah.
Okay, so can someone give a brief example of the content motivation theories?
Yeah, okay. I'll very quickly I'll give you an example. There's two of them. The first one would be the Maslow's hierarchy. Basically, he believed that you could explain motivation by separating human needs into five levels. Lowest level need would be psychological needs, which are basic survival needs. Then above that you have safety needs, which are things like safe working conditions, etc. Then the middle layer is belongingness, and that's the need for social interpersonal relations, I suppose. The fourth level would be esteem. There's an internal and external component of the esteem need. Externally would be need for social status, and internally would be need for autonomy. And the highest order need would be self-actualization, which is the need to fulfill one's potential. Is that okay for the Maslow?
Yeah. So so basically, what I would like to stress on this is it's okay that we know this pyramid and we know the different layers, but we should be able to understand what it really means, and in the employees what is the effect of this, and taking into account the globalization, how different employees for the same organization can be at very different levels. It's not the same for a company, let's say a company based in the US, which is used some more sources in India. Those employees in India are not going to have the same fulfillment of the needs of the other employees in the other country. So how do you manage that? So how sorry, I had some problems with my audio. So how do you really implement that, and how you can relate these different levels to different realities in different countries?
Well, what I would add to that is in impoverished countries like over in China, or Indonesia, and countries like that, to them it's all about getting the lowest, being able to achieve the lowest order base. That is a basic requirement for them, whereas over in the westernized countries, it's more a harder need because the lowest order base are all below.
Okay, so regarding the other content motivation theories, I recommend that you all watch this video of Herzberg talking about his theory. I have shared the link before on the faculty board, so there isn't much that we can add to the same guy talking about his theory. So I don't know if you all have that link.
Is that the one where there's it's in two parts, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So basically with that helps us understand that what motivation is, what do we really mean by that, that we cannot use money as a motivation, as many people think. We need people to really want to do those things, and for that we need to fulfill certain needs. So we should be able to link these theories from Herzberg together with Maslow, and also to pinpoint the differences. Okay, regarding yes.
I just went on to the faculty board. I don't know if you got the faculty board flashed up or not. There was a message from the professor saying that he would start up challenges. I would suggest that the discussion veer toward the creation of 6 or 7 major questions that you record and summarize. I'll then answer them after the meeting, and we will track them onto a suitable download file. How does that sound? Sorry to cut across, but I just noticed that. I'm just conscious of looking for time.
What we have been talking so far, does anyone have any question? Because I think the text is quite clear, but the questions come when we try to take that text and put it like in the real life. So into applications, into real life applications. So do you have any questions regarding what we have been talking so far?
None from me.
Just to add to that, I think the main point is to know how to apply each of these theories in the real life situation.
Yes.
That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I agree on that. I don't think we should like just try to memorize all the steps and all the facts that we are seeing in the text. Rather, we should understand the concepts and know how to apply them, and to apply them in a way that we create change towards competitive advantage.
That's a difficult part for me, is actually applying them and trying to find scenarios where they would sit good.
Okay, so can you help us with some questions?
Hello?
Yes, hello?
I think Marcelo's maybe having problems. Yeah. Should we move on then, yeah?
Hello, is Marcel there?
Yes, I'm here.
Is anybody hearing me?
Yes.
Yes, just here, just yes.
Yes.
Okay, the connection is really erratic.
Yeah, you try to
Okay,
use
I
the
just
chat
want to
box.
add a few things on the motivation theory.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Hello?
Go ahead, Jerry.
Okay, just to, yeah, I find it very interesting because when you apply it to real life, it's like one of my best subjects in OB. In practical terms, you see in the company setting, in the organizational setting, there are some people that need to be you need to apply Maslow's theory of motivation. There are some people that will appreciate Herzberg two-factor theory, and there are some people that you need to apply the equity theory. There are some people that will appreciate if you give them line of sight and instrumentality, and they perform well. So my take is that we need to understand the concepts and then be able to apply it in any situation. The aim is to achieve a competitive advantage. The aim is to do things differently and achieve the same results.
I think that's a very good point. I had never thought about it that way, of applying the different theories to different people. I had understood it like, okay, me as a company owner, I will apply this specific theory to all my employees, but that will not work. So you're right that you need to understand all the different ways that you have for reaching people and apply them accordingly.
Yeah, because if you look at leadership, that's I think module 7 on leadership. It also applies some of these concepts. You know, as a leader, you need to know how to motivate your employees, and because of the different personalities of workers, you need to understand them and know how to motivate them to achieve the objective of the business.
Okay, so
maybe a question posed to the professor then, as you asked. Sorry, I was going to suggest, would that be a question we posed to the professor, that in a leadership situation, would he change his style, say, between behavioural to situational? Or would one leader choose his style and he sticks to it?
sure. Can you please phrase that and put it on the text box?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, should we move on now then to what's next for the concepts?
Okay, so if we go to the next concept, we will go back to this diagram. So we have a better view of everything. Okay, I think another thing we can link to motivation because it is closely related is the use of the types of incentives. You will see the points 8 and 9. You have incentives and the role in the performance management, and then using group incentive plans to strengthen the competitive advantage. How is this all related to the motivation theories that we have just talked about, and how will this gear us towards this competitive advantage that we want?
It's related to the, my thoughts are that it's related to the motivation theories, particularly the expectancy theory, by instrumentality, whereby you're in people's lines of sight. There's a clear link then. The people who are performing well get rewarded correctly, then they will, this is an incentive for them to keep performing well or to perform even better. And therefore, obviously, the better that your workforce are performing, that's going to obviously add value to your competitive advantage.
Okay, so is there anything else that someone wants to comment on these incentives, and what's the difference between the concept 8 and the concept 9? The incentives and the role in performance management, and the incentives and the incentive plans to use to strengthen the competitive advantage. Is it the same thing? Is it two sides of the same thing? Can someone explain me that?
I don't actually have visibility of the diagram you're talking about, so I can't.
You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see this diagram that is showing?
Well, all I can see is the message board.
Okay.
That's what I can see is a message.
Okay,
we can see it now, yeah.
Can you see it now?
The screen dump of the message.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This was the diagram that I was referring all along. Okay, so we have this the 8 and 9. So how do they relate? Are they the same? What do we really mean with this?
Perhaps could you explain the first one then, Marcel, to give us a head start off?
Okay, so if we go back to this older table that I had with the different concepts, let me check something. Okay. Okay, we have the first one, incentives and the role in performance management. Here what we have is a definition of incentives, the different types and methods that you can use. You have all salary, the accumulating time off, the skill-based compensation, the flexible benefits. Somewhere here is this cafeteria mode, where basically is where you choose from different aspects and you implement them together. And this talks more about this intrinsic rewards and what's the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic rewards, and how and when should they be used. So the other concept that we have.
Can I ask just on that? You've got incentives under role and performance management, okay? And you're talking about basically pay systems there, I suppose, in that, you know, the different pay strategies, the way the companies reward people. How does that relate to performance management?
Okay, so as I understand it, you have an employee. This employee has certain goals. You're measuring those goals, and depending on how he fulfills those goals, he is going to be compensated. So there are some incentives for reaching that performance goals that you want. That's how I understand it. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
So, right, so you're basically, if the person,
Hello, are you still there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hi Marcelo. My question then was, I still don't really see the link between company pay strategies and performance management. Perhaps you could maybe explain that a bit better.
Okay, so I guess we should first define both things and see how we can link them together. What do you understand by performance management?
My understanding of it would be like through like a performance appraisal system whereby you gather information about the quality and quantity of an employee's performance, and then you take that information and you would compare it against what the objectives that were initially set.
Okay, so that would be the performance management part. And what about what's an incentive?
An incentive is something to motivate an individual to achieve a desired level of performance.
Okay, so isn't that the link? So you're having different types of incentives or methods of incentivizing people to perform in the way that is expected.
Right, but surely an organisation doesn't use individual pay strategies for rewarding different or each individual based on their needs.
I couldn't hear that. I don't know if you can write that down.
Do you understand what I'm asking?
Sorry, Eamon, are you inferring how an organisation say their strategy, their goals, how that translates down into the PA system, and then how employees are rewarded from that?
Yeah, I really don't understand. I mean, the subtitle of this section on that spreadsheet is Incentives and the Role in Performance Management. I understand that, but I don't understand how company pay systems, as in like accumulating time off or skill-based compensation, how does that link to performance management?
Is that down to, that's like the, that's a carrot, if you like, for this. Is, I'm just thinking out loud here. Is that not whereby if employees, if they achieve X, then they will get extra time off? Is it referring to that?
So the company pay strategy is specific to each individual then?
Oh, so you mean that's getting too detailed, I would say, to do it individually.
Yeah, I don't know whether someone
Therefore,
applies that way, but if you want, you can phrase that question in the text box so we can put it on the faculty board for the professor to answer.
okay, yeah.
Marcella, does this conference call cut off in 30 minutes? Do we have 30 minutes left and then that's it finished, or does it run over if we need to?
No, we can continue all day.
Okay. Sorry, I'm conscious because I like the 5 additional ideas. It's interesting to see what everyone's thoughts are on the 5 additional ideas.
Okay, so while this next question is okay, I can send it. Okay, so while I paste this on the faculty board, can you please start discussing the remaining concepts we have? We have been talking about the number 1, 2, 3 a little, and also 4, 5, and where is 6? 6. We haven't talked much about behavior modification. Is there something that you want to say or ask about that?
What I would be interested in is to see perhaps maybe someone illustrate how it would be applied in a real life situation.
Anyone?
Yeah, yes, let me give a try on that.
Okay.
Behavior modification is also one of the methods that can be used to motivate employees. Is different from the other types of motivation we consider, like Maslow's theory or Herzberg, because this is based on what is observed. Observable behavior which can be measured and used to improve motivation and performance. And from my understanding, we need to reinforce behavior, and we do that using the 4 contingencies of reinforcement, like the positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, extinction, and punishment. And my take is that if we use any of these 4 contingents of reinforcement, we can modify behavior and help the employees or the workers to be focused on their job. If they make mistakes, we can use punishments as a way of correcting or modifying behavior so that we can align them to achieve the organizational objective and also competitive advantage.
Okay, but I have a question. You said at the beginning that you consider this to